Queen Ryan moved through the shadows like a ghost. Her huge dragon form stayed hidden behind the tall walls of her own palace. She had been gone for 3 days. Everyone thought she was dead. The battle with the humans had been terrible. Fire and metal had filled the sky. When the smoke cleared, no one could find her body. But she was not dead. She was hurt, yes. Her left wing had a deep cut. Her golden scales were covered with dirt and blood. But she lived. Now she wanted to see what happened in her palace while she was gone. She needed to know if her people mourned for her. She needed to know if her generals planned to fight the humans again. The palace was quiet. Too quiet. Usually, dragon guards walked on every wall. Tonight, she saw only a few. Where were the others? She changed into her human form. It was easier to move without being seen this way. Her long black hair covered her face as she climbed. Through a window, she walked through the stone halls on soft feet. Everything looked the same. The red carpet still covered the floors. The gold mirrors still hung on the walls. But something felt wrong. The air smelled different. It smelled like metal and oil. Human smells. Queen Ryan stopped at her bedroom door. Light came from under it. Someone was inside. Her heart beat fast. Who would dare enter her private room? She put her hand on the door handle. She turned it very slowly. The door opened just a crack. She looked inside and could not believe what she saw. A human man sat on the floor next to her bed. He was young, maybe 25 years old. His black hair was messy. His clothes were dirty with grease and oil. Tools were spread all around him on the floor. But that was not the shocking part. The shocking part was what he was doing. He was fixing her dragon egg. The egg was huge, almost as big as the man himself. It was white with silver lines running through it. It had been in her family for 1,000 years. During the battle, a human weapon had cracked it. She thought it was broken forever. She thought the baby dragon inside was dead. But the human was working on it. His hands moved very carefully over the crack. He had strange tools she had never seen before. Some were made of metal. Others looked like they were made of glass. He was putting something on the crack. It looked like liquid silver. Queen Ryan watched him work. The human did not look afraid. He did not look angry. He looked focused. His eyes never left the egg. His hands never shook. He worked like someone who cared about what he was doing. She wanted to burst through the door. She wanted to grab him and ask him what he thought he was doing. But something stopped her. Maybe it was the way he touched the egg. So gentle, so careful, like it was the most important thing in the world. The human reached for a small bottle. He opened it and poured a few drops of blue liquid onto the crack. The liquid glowed for a moment. Then it disappeared into the egg. The crack began to close. Queen Ryan gasped. She could not help it. The human looked up. He looked right at the door, right at her, but he could not see her through the crack. He went back to his work. Queen Ryan's mind raced. How did this human get into her palace? How did he know about the egg? Why was he fixing it? Humans hated dragons. They had been at war for years. This made no sense. She watched him for another hour. He worked without stopping. He used tool after tool. He checked the egg from every side. Sometimes he held it up to the light. Sometimes he listened to it like he was trying to hear something inside. Finally, the human sat back. He smiled. It was a small smile, but Queen Ryan could see he was happy with his work. The crack was gone. The egg looked perfect again. It looked even better than before. The human began to pack his tools. He put them into a leather bag one by one. He was very careful with each tool. When he was done, he stood up. He looked at the egg one more time. Then he turned toward the door. Queen Ryan stepped back from the door. Her heart was beating so fast, she thought he might hear it. The human walked to the door. He opened it slowly. He looked left and right down the hall. Then he stepped out, but he did not leave. Instead, he closed the door behind him. He sat down on the floor next to it, like he was guarding the room, like he was protecting the egg. Queen Ryan did not know what to think. This human had just fixed the most important thing in her life. He had saved her egg. Maybe he had saved the baby dragon inside, and now he was protecting it. She had to know more. She had to know who he was and why he was here. She had to know if this was some kind of trick. But she also had to be careful. If other humans were in her palace, she could be in danger. She moved away from the door. She would find another way to watch him. She would learn his secrets. And then she would decide what to do with him. As she walked down the hall, she thought about the war. She thought about all the humans who had died. She thought about all the dragons who had died. And she thought about the young human man who had just saved her egg. Maybe not all humans were the same. Maybe some of them were different. Maybe some of them were like this one. Gentle, careful, kind. But she could not be sure. Not yet. She needed to watch him more. She needed to understand what he really wanted. Queen Ryan found a hiding place where she could see her bedroom door. The human was still sitting there, still guarding the egg. She settled in to wait and watch. Tomorrow, she would get her answers. Queen Ryan could not sleep. She stayed hidden all night, watching the human guard her door. When the sun came up, he was still there. He had not moved. He had not left. He just sat and waited. She had to know who he was. She had to know why he was here. Her curiosity was stronger than her fear. She changed into her human form and walked down the hall toward him. The humans saw her coming. He looked up at her with calm eyes. He did not look surprised. He did not look afraid. He just looked tired. "You are awake early," he said in a quiet voice. His words were in the dragon language. He spoke it well, but with a human accent. Queen Ryan stopped walking. How did he know she was not just a palace worker? How did he know to speak the dragon language to her? "Who are you?" she asked. She tried to make her voice sound normal. She did not want him to know she was the queen. "My name is Taiho," he said. He stood up slowly. His joints were stiff from sitting all night. "I am a mechanic. General Minho hired me to fix something very important." General Minho, her most trusted advisor. The only dragon she told about the egg. If Minho hired this human, then maybe it was safe. But she still did not understand. "What did you fix?" she asked. Taiho smiled. "Come and see," he said. He opened the door to her bedroom. Queen Ryan followed him inside. The egg sat on her bed, looking perfect. It glowed softly in the morning light. She could feel life inside it. Strong life. The baby dragon was alive. "How did you do this?" she asked. She could not hide the wonder in her voice. Taiho sat down next to the egg. "My people have been studying dragon eggs for many years," he said. "Not to hurt them, to help them. We know they are precious. We know they are rare." He pulled out a leather book from his bag. It was full of drawings and notes, all about dragons. Queen Ryan looked at the pages. There were pictures of dragon scales, pictures of dragon wings, pictures of dragon eggs at different stages. "This is 20 years of research," Taiho said. "My father started it. My mother continued it. Now I do the work." Queen Ryan looked at one page. It showed how to heal a cracked egg. Every step was drawn out clearly. Every tool was labeled. This was not the work of enemies. This was the work of people who cared. "Why?" she asked. "Why do humans care about dragon eggs?" Taiho was quiet for a moment. He touched the egg gently with one finger. "Because dragons are beautiful," he said. "Because they are important. Because the world is better with them in it." Queen Ryan felt something strange in her chest. No human had ever said anything like that to her before. All the humans she had met wanted to kill dragons, or capture them, or use them. None of them thought dragons were beautiful. "General Minho found my family 3 months ago," Taeho continued. "He said the queen had an egg that was hurt. He said it might be the last egg of the royal line. He asked us to help." "And you said yes," Queen Ryan said. "Of course we said yes," Taeho replied. "A royal dragon egg is the most important thing in the world. If we could save it, we had to try." Queen Ryan sat down on the other side of the egg. She looked at this human man who had saved her baby. His clothes were simple. His tools were old, but his hands were skilled. His heart was kind. "How many dragons have you helped?" she asked. Taeho opened his book to another page. It showed a list of names and dates. 43 eggs, he said. 12 injured dragons, 3 sick dragons, all in the last 5 years. 43 eggs, Queen Ryan repeated. She could not believe it. "Where are they now?" "Growing up safe," Taeho said. "Some with dragon families who live far from the war, some with human families who keep them secret. All alive because we helped them." This changed everything. Queen Ryan had thought all humans hated dragons. She had thought the war was because humans wanted to destroy her people. But here was proof that some humans wanted to help. "The war," she said. "Why is there a war if some humans care about dragons?" Taeho's face became sad. "Not all humans are like my family," he said. "Some humans are afraid of dragons. They think dragons want to hurt them. And not all dragons are like General Minho. Some dragons think humans are evil. They want to fight." "So, both sides have good people and bad people," Queen Ryan said. "Yes," Taeho said. "The bad people on both sides make the war continue. The good people on both sides just want peace." Queen Ryan thought about this. She thought about the dragons in her court who always wanted to fight. She thought about the humans who had attacked her people. Maybe Taeho was right. Maybe the war was not about all dragons against all humans. Maybe it was about the people who wanted to fight against the people who wanted peace. "Can I see more of your research?" she asked. Taeho's eyes lit up. He pulled out more books from his bag. He showed her drawings of dragon anatomy. He showed her notes about dragon diet and behavior. He showed her maps of where dragons lived peacefully with humans. "This is amazing," Queen Ryan said. She had never seen anything like it. Even her own dragon scholars did not know some of these things about her people. "My sister Jisoo helped with much of this," Taeho said. "She is smarter than me. She understands the science better. I just know how to fix things." "Where is she now?" Queen Ryan asked. "Coming here," Taeho said. "She should arrive today. She brings better tools. Tools that will help the baby dragon inside this egg grow strong." Queen Ryan felt hope for the first time in years. Her egg was saved. Her baby would live. And she had found humans who wanted to help dragons instead of hurt them. But she also felt confused. If there were humans like Taeho and Jisoo, why was there still a war? Why were dragons and humans still fighting? "Taeho," she said, "do you think the war can end?" He looked at her with serious eyes. "I think it can," he said. "But only if the right people work together. Only if dragons and humans who want peace can find each other." Queen Ryan nodded. She was starting to understand. The war would not end by fighting. It would end by building trust. It would end by showing both sides that cooperation was better than conflict. She looked at her egg again. Inside was the future of her royal line. Maybe it was also the future of peace between dragons and humans. As Taeho showed Queen Ryan more of his research, she began to understand something incredible. Humans were not just helping a few dragons here and there. They had built entire communities where dragons and humans lived together. "Look at this map," Taiho said. He pointed to a drawing in one of his books. "This shows a village called Peaceful Valley. 50 human families live there. So do 12 dragon families. They share the work. Humans are good at building things. Dragons are good at protecting things. Together, they are stronger than apart." Queen Ryan studied the map. The village had human houses and dragon caves built side by side, gardens where both species could find food, schools where human children and young dragons learned together. "This is real?" she asked. "Very real," Taiho said. "My family visits there every few months. We help with medical care for both humans and dragons. It is the most beautiful place I have ever seen." He turned to another page. This one showed a different village, and another, and another. 7 villages in total where dragons and humans lived in peace. "Why do my generals not know about these places?" Queen Ryan asked. Taiho looked uncomfortable. "Because your generals do not want to know," he said carefully. "General Minho told us that some dragons in your court want the war to continue. They think peace would make dragons weak." Queen Ryan felt angry, not at Taiho, but at her own people. While she had been fighting battles, some dragons and humans had been building peace, and her own court had hidden this from her. "Who are these dragons that want war?" she asked. "I do not know their names," Taiho said. "General Minho was careful not to tell us too much. He said it was dangerous for everyone if the wrong dragons learned about our work." A sound came from outside the window, footsteps in the courtyard below. Taiho went to look. "Jisoo is here," he said with a smile. "My sister has arrived." A few minutes later, there was a soft knock on the door. Taiho opened it to let in a young woman. She was carrying a large bag full of equipment. Like Taiho, her clothes were simple and practical, but her eyes were bright with intelligence. "The egg is beautiful," Jisoo said the moment she saw it. She set down her bag and approached carefully. "May I examine it?" Queen Ryan nodded. She watched as Jisoo pulled out tools even more advanced than Taiho's. One looked like a glass tube that glowed with soft light. Another was a metal device that hummed quietly. Jisoo held the glowing tube near the egg. Light passed through the shell, showing the baby dragon inside. Queen Ryan gasped. She could see the tiny dragon curled up, sleeping peacefully. "Healthy heartbeat," Jisoo said. "Good size for development stage. The repairs Taiho made are holding perfectly." She looked up at Queen Ryan with a grin. "This baby will hatch in about 2 weeks. 2 weeks." Queen Ryan's heart jumped. She would be a mother in 2 weeks. The royal line would continue. "But there is something else," Jisoo said. She adjusted her glowing tool and looked at the egg from a different angle. "Something wonderful." "What?" Queen Ryan and Taiho asked at the same time. "Twins," Jisoo said. "There are 2 baby dragons in this egg." Queen Ryan could not speak. Twins. Dragon twins were incredibly rare. Her grandmother had told her stories about twin dragons, but she had never seen any herself. And now her own egg contained twins. "How is that possible?" she finally asked. Jisoo smiled. "Dragon eggs can adapt in ways that even dragons do not understand," she said. "When an egg is in danger, sometimes it develops extra protection. Sometimes that protection comes in the form of a second baby." She showed Queen Ryan readings from her instruments. When your egg was cracked, it triggered ancient survival mechanisms. The single baby dragon split into 2. Both are healthy. Both are strong. Taiho was looking through one of Jisoo's research books. "Here," he said. "We documented this happening once before. A dragon egg that was damaged during an earthquake. The stress caused it to develop twins. Both babies lived long, healthy lives." Queen Ryan felt overwhelmed. Her egg was not just saved. It was more than she had ever hoped for. 2 heirs instead of 1. 2 chances for her royal line to continue. There is more good news, Jisu said. She pulled out a set of charts from her bag. These show the family lines of all the dragons we have helped. Your twins will not be alone. There are 47 other young dragons of royal blood scattered across the safe villages. 47, Queen Ryan repeated. Eggs that were thought lost during battles, Tai-Ho explained. Dragons that were thought dead. We saved them all. We found homes for them all. The royal bloodlines are stronger now than they have been in 100 years. Queen Ryan sat down heavily on her bed. This was too much to take in. While she had been mourning the decline of dragonkind, humans had been secretly saving her people. While her court had been planning for war, these humans had been building a future where dragons could thrive. Why? She asked. Why do all this? For dragons? Jisu and Tai-Ho looked at each other. Then Jisu spoke. When I was 12 years old, she said, our village was attacked by bandits. They came at night when everyone was sleeping. They burned houses. They hurt people. My parents and I were trapped in our burning home. She paused, remembering. Then a dragon came, a great silver dragon. He landed in our village and drove away, the bandits. He pulled my family from the burning house with his own claws. He saved our lives. After that night, Tai-Ho continued, we knew that dragons were not monsters. They were protectors. They were heroes. We decided to spend our lives helping them the way that Silver Dragon helped us. Queen Ryan felt tears in her eyes. A silver dragon. That sounded like her father's description of his younger brother, Prince Young-Ho. He had disappeared 15 years ago during a scouting mission. Everyone thought he was dead. This silver dragon, she said carefully. Did he tell you his name? Young-Ho, Jisu said. He said his name was Young-Ho. He visited our village many times after that night. He taught us about dragon medicine. He helped us start our research. Prince Young-Ho was alive. Her uncle was alive. And he had been working with humans to build peace. Where is he now? Queen Ryan asked. He lives in Peaceful Valley, Tai-Ho said. He helps lead the community there. He was the one who sent us to find other humans who wanted to help dragons. Because of him, we found the other villages. Because of him, we saved all those eggs. Queen Ryan closed her eyes. Her uncle had not died in battle. He had found a better way. He had found peace. And he had been working for 15 years to save their people. I need to see him, she said. You can, Jisu said. After your babies hatch, we can take you to Peaceful Valley. You can see for yourself what dragons and humans can build together. Queen Ryan looked at her egg. Inside were 2 babies who would grow up in a world where dragons and humans could be friends. Outside were villages where peace was already real. But there was still a war happening. There were still dragons and humans who chose to fight instead of cooperate. How do we stop the war? She asked. Tai-Ho and Jisu were quiet for a moment. Then Tai-Ho spoke. We need leaders on both sides who choose peace, he said. We need dragons and humans who are brave enough to trust each other. Queen Ryan nodded. She was beginning to see what she needed to do. Queen Ryan spent the next 3 days learning from Tai-Ho and Jisu. They taught her things about her own people that she had never known. They showed her healing methods that could help sick dragons. They explained how dragon and human minds worked differently but could complement each other perfectly. On the 4th morning, something changed in her egg. It began to glow brighter. It began to feel warm. The babies inside were getting ready to hatch. It is starting, Jisu said excitedly. She had been monitoring the egg with her instruments. The hatching process has begun. In 3 days, maybe 4, your babies will break free. Queen Ryan felt nervous and excited at the same time. She had waited so long for this moment. But now she was worried. What if something went wrong? What if the babies were not healthy? Do not worry, Taiho said, seeing her expression. We have helped with 12 dragon hatchings. We know what to do if there are any problems. That evening, General Minho finally visited. Queen Ryan had been wondering why her trusted advisor had not come to check on the egg. When he arrived, she understood why. He looked worried and tired. My queen, he said, not realizing she was actually there in human form. He thought she was just a palace worker. I need to speak with the humans who are helping the egg. I am. Here, Taiho said, coming out of the bedroom. What is wrong, General? Minho looked around carefully, making sure no one else could hear. Lord Daisung has returned from the Eastern Territories, he said quietly. He brings news that will change everything. Queen Ryan's blood went cold. Lord Daisung was her cousin, but he was also her enemy. He had always wanted to take her throne. He had always pushed for more war against humans. What news? Jisoo asked. He says he has proof that humans are stealing dragon eggs, Minho said. He says he found empty nests in the eastern mountains. He says humans are taking the eggs to make weapons. Taiho and Jisoo looked shocked. That is not true, Taiho said. We would never hurt dragon eggs. We save them. I know that, Minho said. But Daisung does not know about our secret work. He thinks all humans are enemies. He is calling for a great war. A final war to destroy all humans. Queen Ryan felt sick. This was exactly what she had feared. While she had been learning about peace, Daesung had been spreading lies about war. There is more, Minho continued. Daesung knows that humans are in the palace. He has spies everywhere. He knows about you two. He is coming here tomorrow with soldiers to arrest you. We can leave, Jisoo said quickly. We can take our tools and go. No, Queen Ryan said, stepping forward. You cannot leave. The egg needs you. The babies need you. General Minho looked at her with surprise. Who are you? He asked. How do you know about the egg? Queen Ryan took a deep breath. It was time to reveal who she really was. She let her human disguise fall away. Her true form appeared, tall, elegant, with the golden eyes of royalty. My queen! Minho gasped, falling to his knees. You are alive! But how? I have been here for 4 days, Queen Ryan said. I have been learning the truth about these humans. They are not our enemies, Minho. They are our friends. Taiho and Jisoo also knelt down. Your Majesty, Taiho said. We did not know. Stand. Up, all of you, Queen Ryan said. We do not have time for ceremonies. We have a problem to solve. She told General Minho everything she had learned. About the peaceful villages, about her uncle Young-ho, about the 47 dragon eggs that had been saved by humans, about the twins growing in her own egg. Minho listened with growing amazement. I knew some of this, he said, but not all of it. I did not know how big the peace movement had become. Daesung must not destroy this, Queen Ryan said. These humans represent hope for our future. If he kills them, he kills our chance for peace. But he has support from many dragons, Minho said. Half the court believes his lies about humans stealing eggs. They want revenge. Queen Ryan thought hard. Daesung was dangerous because dragons trusted him. He was a war hero. He had fought humans for many years. When he said humans were evil, other dragons believed him. But now she had proof that he was wrong. She had Taiho and Jisoo. She had their research. She had the story of her uncle Young-ho. Most importantly, she had her egg, saved by human hands. When will Daesung arrive? She asked. Tomorrow at sunrise, Minho said. He brings 50 soldiers. He has orders to search the palace for humans and arrest any he finds. Then we have tonight to prepare, Queen Ryan said. Minho, I need you to gather the dragons in court who might support peace. Bring them here quietly. Let them see what these humans have done for our egg. And if they do not believe? Minho asked. Then we will have to fight, Queen Ryan said. But not with claws and fire. We will fight with truth. She turned to Taiho and Jisoo. I need you to prepare everything you can to prove your work. All. Your research. All your maps of the peaceful villages. All your records of the eggs you have saved. We can do that, Jisoo said. But, Your Majesty, there is something else. Something we have not told you yet. What? Taiho looked nervous. Your Uncle Young-ho is coming here, he said. We sent him a message when we first arrived. He should reach the palace by tomorrow evening. Queen. Ryan felt hope rise in her chest. Uncle Young-ho had been gone for 15 years. Most dragons thought he was dead. If he appeared alive and well, if he spoke about his work with humans, it might change everything. Does Daesung know Young-ho is alive? She asked. No, Minho said. No one knows except us. Good, Queen Ryan said. That is our advantage. Daesung will not expect to face Young-ho tomorrow. She began to make plans. It would be dangerous. Daesung was powerful and cunning, but she had something he did not have. She had the truth. Tonight, we prepare, she said. Tomorrow we show our people that dragons and humans can work together, and if Daesung wants to fight, he will have to fight his own queen. As if responding to her words, the egg on the bed began to glow even brighter. The babies inside could sense their mother's determination. They were getting ready to be born into a world that their mother was going to change. Queen Ryan placed her hand on the warm shell. Just a little longer, my children, she whispered. When you hatch, you will see a world where dragons and humans are friends. But first, she had to make sure that world was possible. She had to face Daesung and his lies. She had to choose between war and peace. She looked at Taiho and Jisoo, who had risked everything to save her egg. She thought about her uncle Young-ho, who had spent 15 years building bridges between species. She thought about the peaceful villages where dragons and humans lived together. Tomorrow would decide the future of both species, and Queen Ryan was ready to fight for peace. The night passed quickly. General Minho brought 12 dragons to the palace in secret. They were all dragons who had questions about the war, dragons who wondered if there might be a better way than fighting. Queen Ryan showed them everything. Taiho's research books, Jisoo's healing tools, the maps of peaceful villages. Most importantly, she showed them her egg, glowing and warm with life inside. Humans did this? Asked Captain Borum, a female dragon who had lost many friends in battle. Humans saved your egg? Not just saved it, Queen Ryan said. They made it better. They discovered that it contains twins, something our own dragon healers could not see. She told them about her uncle Young-ho, about the 47 other royal eggs that had been saved, about the communities where dragons and humans lived together in peace. Some of the dragons were amazed. Others were suspicious. A few were angry. This could be a trick, said Commander Sang-ho. How do we know these humans are telling the truth? How do we know this is not some clever plan to make us weak? Taiho stepped forward. You can test everything, he said. Send dragons to Peaceful Valley. See for yourselves. Meet the dragons. Who live there? Meet the humans who live there. The truth is not hidden. And what about the missing eggs that Lord Daesung found? Asked Captain Borum. If humans are saving eggs, why were those nests empty? Jisoo had an answer for that. Because other humans took them, she said sadly. Not all humans are like us. Some humans do steal dragon eggs. Some humans do want to hurt dragons, just like not all dragons want peace with humans. You see, Commander, Sang-ho said. They admit it. Humans are stealing our eggs. Some humans, Queen Ryan said firmly, just as some dragons want to kill all humans. But we do not judge all dragons by the actions of a few. Why should we judge all humans that way? The say. Debate continued through the night. By morning, 8 of the 12 dragons supported giving peace a chance. Four still wanted war. It was not enough, but it was a start. Just as the sun rose, horns sounded outside the palace. Lord Daesung had arrived. Queen Ryan watched from her window as he landed in the courtyard. He was a massive red dragon, larger than most. Behind him came 50 soldier dragons. They formed lines in the courtyard, ready for battle. Daesung changed to his human form and marched into the palace. He was tall and broad, with scars from many battles. His eyes burned with anger and suspicion. "Where is General Minho?" he demanded, of the first servant he saw. "I have come to clean the humans from this palace." Minho appeared quickly. "Lord Daesung," he said with a careful bow, "welcome back to the palace, but there may be a misunderstanding about the humans." "No misunderstanding," Daesung said coldly. "I have proof that humans are stealing our eggs. I have orders from the Eastern Council to arrest any humans found in dragon territory. Where are they?" "Before you do anything," Minho said, "there is someone you need to see, someone who has been waiting to speak with you." Daesung looked suspicious. "Who?" "Follow me," Minho said. He led Daesung through the palace halls. The other dragons followed, soldiers and supporters alike. They came to the throne room where Queen Ryan waited, but she was not alone. Taiho and Jisoo stood beside her throne. Their research was displayed on tables around the room, and next to the throne, on a special stand, sat her glowing egg. "What is this?" Daesung demanded. "Who are these humans? Why are they in the throne room?" "Because they saved something precious," said a voice from the doorway. Everyone turned. A silver dragon stood there in human form. He was older now, with gray in his hair, but his eyes were the same. Prince Young-ho had arrived exactly on time. "Uncle!" Queen Ryan cried, running to embrace him. "Brother?" Daesung stared in shock. "But you are dead. You died 15 years ago." "I did not die," Young-ho said calmly. "I found a better way to live. I found peace." He walked to the center of the room. "I have spent 15 years working with humans, building communities where our peoples can live together, saving dragon eggs that would have been lost forever." "Lies," Daesung snarled. "Humans steal our eggs. I have seen the empty nests." "Yes," Young-ho said sadly. "Some humans do steal eggs, just as some dragons kill human children. But not all humans. Not these humans." He gestured to Taiho and Jisoo. "These two have saved 47 dragon eggs in the last 5 years. They have healed dozens of injured dragons. They have dedicated their lives to helping our people." "Impossible," Daesung said. But he looked uncertain for the first time. Queen Ryan stepped forward. "Cousin," she said, "I know you think you are protecting our people. But look at this." She showed him her egg. "This was cracked in battle. Our own healers said it was lost, but these humans fixed it. They saved not one baby dragon, but 2. Twins. Daesung. The first twins born to our royal line in 300 years. Daesung stared at the egg. Even he could see the life glowing inside it. Even he could feel the strength of the babies waiting to be born. They could have destroyed it, Queen Ryan continued. They could have stolen it. Instead, they spent days carefully healing it. They asked for nothing in return. "Show him the villages," Taiho said quietly. Jisoo spread out maps on the table. 7 communities where dragons and humans live together, she said. Over 300 dragons, over 800 humans, all living in peace. She showed pictures. Dragons and humans working side by side. Dragon children playing with human children, shared festivals and celebrations. Daesung looked at the pictures for a long time. "This could be fake," he said finally, but his voice was less certain than before. "Then come with us and see for yourself," Young-ho said. "Come to Peaceful Valley. Meet the dragons who live there. Hear their stories." "I will not abandon my duty," Daesung said. "Humans are our enemies." Some humans are our enemies, Queen Ryan said. But not all, just as some dragons are your enemies, cousin. There are dragons in this very court who would take my throne if they could. Do you call all dragons your enemies because of them? Daesung was quiet. He was a warrior, but he was not stupid. He could see the logic in her words. The eggs I found, he said slowly. The empty nests in the east. Taken by bad humans, Jisoo said. Humans who work for people who want the war to continue. There are humans who profit from fighting, just as there are dragons who gain power. From fighting. But we can stop them, Taiho added. Working together, we can protect dragon eggs better than either side can alone. We can build a future where no eggs are stolen. Daesung looked around the room. At his brother, returned from the dead. At his cousin, the queen he had thought was dead. At the glowing egg that proved human skill could save dragon life. I need time to think, he said finally. Time is something we do not have, Queen Ryan said. Even now, your soldiers wait outside. They expect you to arrest these humans. What will you tell them? Before Daesung could answer, the egg on its stand began to shake. Cracks appeared on its surface. Tiny sounds came from inside. It is happening, Jisoo said excitedly. The babies are hatching. Everyone in the room gathered around the egg. Dragons and humans together watched as the first baby dragon poked its head through the shell. It was tiny, golden, and perfect. A moment later, the second baby appeared. Silver, like its great-uncle Young-ho. The baby dragons looked around with bright, curious eyes. They saw dragons. They saw humans. They showed no fear of either. Queen Ryan picked up her children gently. They nestled against her, chirping softly. They were healthy. They were safe. They were the future. Look at them, she said to Daesung. They do not see enemies. They see family. All of us. Daesung stared at the baby dragons. These tiny creatures, saved by human hands, would grow up to lead their people. What kind of world did he want them to inherit? Outside, his soldiers were waiting for orders. The future of both species hung in the balance, and Lord Daesung had to choose. Lord Daesung stood in silence for a long time. He watched the baby dragons in Queen Ryan's arms. He looked at the research spread across the tables. He studied the faces of his brother Young-ho, his cousin the queen, and the two humans who had saved the royal eggs. Finally he spoke. My soldiers are waiting for orders, he said slowly. They expect me to arrest these humans. Queen Ryan held her babies closer. What will you tell them? Daesung walked to the window. In the courtyard below, 50 dragon soldiers waited in formation. They trusted him. They followed him. They believed that humans were the enemy because he had told them so. For 20 years, I have fought humans, he said. I have seen them kill dragons. I have seen them burn our nests. I have seen them steal our treasure. All of this is true. He turned back to the room. But I have never seen humans save a dragon egg. I have never seen humans heal a sick dragon. I have never seen humans and dragons living together in peace. He walked over to Taiho and Jisoo. The two humans stood calmly, even though they knew their lives were in his hands. You risked everything to come here, he said to them. You knew dragons might kill you. You came anyway. Why? Because the queen's egg needed help, Taiho said simply. Because it was the right thing to do. And now, Daesung asked, now that the babies are born, will you leave? Jisoo shook her head. Only if you make us leave, she said. There is still much work to do. The babies will need care as they grow. Other dragons need healing. Other eggs need saving. You would stay in a dragon palace surrounded by dragons who might hate you? We would stay to help, Taiho said. That is what we do. Daesung nodded slowly. He had made his decision. He walked to the door and called for his captain. "Bring the soldiers inside," he commanded. "All of them." Soon, the throne room was filled with dragon soldiers. They looked around in confusion. They had expected to find captured humans. Instead, they found humans standing freely beside their queen. "Soldiers," Daesung said in a loud voice. "I brought you here to arrest enemy humans, but I have discovered something important. These humans are not our enemies." Murmurs of confusion rose from the soldiers. Some looked angry. Some looked suspicious. Daesung raised his hand for silence. "Let me show you what they have done." He told them the story, about the cracked egg, about the healing, about the twins that had just been born. He showed them the research. He introduced them to Prince Young-ho, returned from the dead. "These humans have saved 47 dragon eggs," he said. "They have healed dozens of our people. They have built communities where dragons and humans live in peace." "But Lord Daesung," one soldier said, "what about the empty nests? What about the stolen eggs?" "Stolen by different humans," Daesung replied. "Humans who are our enemies, just as there are dragons who are our enemies. We do not judge all dragons by the actions of a few. We should not judge all humans that way either." Queen Ryan stepped forward, still holding her babies. "I am your queen," she said. "I was thought dead, but I am alive. I have seen the truth about these humans. They are not our enemies. They are our allies." She held up her golden baby dragon. "This child was saved by human hands. This child will grow up knowing that dragons and humans can work together. This child will be a bridge between our peoples." The soldiers looked at their queen. They looked at the baby dragons. They looked at the proof spread out before them. "What do you command, Your Majesty?" asked the captain. Queen Ryan smiled. "I command that these humans be welcomed as honored guests in our palace. I command that we send dragons to visit the peaceful villages and see for themselves what cooperation can build. And I command that we work together to stop the real enemies, the humans and dragons who profit from war." She turned to Daesung. "Cousin, will you help me build this peace?" Daesung looked at his soldiers. Some nodded in agreement. Others still looked uncertain, but none looked ready to rebel against their queen. "I will try," he said, "but it will not be easy. There are many dragons who want war. There are many humans who want war. They will fight against peace. Then we will fight for peace," Queen Ryan said. "Together." Over the next few weeks, everything changed. Dragon delegations visited the peaceful villages. They met dragons who lived happily with humans. They saw children of both species playing together. They learned that cooperation was not weakness, but strength. Taiho and Jisoo were appointed as the first human advisors to the Dragon Court. They established a new department of dragon-human relations. They trained both species in healing and cooperation. Prince Young-ho returned to court as well. He brought news of other peaceful communities. Plans were made to establish more villages where both species could live together. Queen Ryan's babies grew strong and healthy. The golden one, whom she named Sumin, was curious and brave. The silver one, whom she named Hyun-woo, was gentle and wise. They were raised by both dragons and humans, learning from both cultures. Not everyone supported the changes. Some dragons left the court in anger. Some humans refused to accept peace, but more and more dragons and humans chose cooperation over conflict. The war did not end overnight. There were still battles. There were still dragons and humans who chose to fight. But now there was also hope. Now there was proof that another way was possible. Lord Daesung became one of the strongest supporters of peace. He used his influence with the war dragons to convince them to try cooperation. Many listened to him because he had been a war hero himself. A year later, Queen Ryan stood on her palace balcony watching her children play in the garden below. Sumin and Hyun-woo were chasing butterflies with 3 human children and 2 young dragons from other families. Taiho approached, carrying his tools. He had been working on a new project, healing pools that could help both dragons and humans recover from injuries. "How are the children today?" he asked. "Happy," Queen Ryan said. "They do not understand why anyone thought dragons and humans should be enemies. To them, friendship is natural." "Maybe that is how it should be," Taiho said. "Maybe the children will build the world we are trying to create." Jisoo joined them on the balcony. She had been meeting with dragon healers, sharing knowledge that would help both species. "The Eastern Council has agreed to a peace treaty," she reported. 3 more regions want to establish mixed communities. The peace is spreading." "Queen," Ryan smiled. The mechanic who had sneaked into her palace had done more than save her egg. He had saved her people's future. "When this all started," she said to Taiho, "I thought you were an enemy in my palace. I thought you were there to steal or destroy." "And what do you think now?" Taiho asked. Queen Ryan watched her children playing below. Dragons and humans together, laughing and learning from each other. "Now I think you came to build something new," she said. "Something better than what came before." The golden baby dragon, Sumin, looked up and waved at her mother. Next to her, a human child was teaching Hyunwoo how to make flower crowns. This was the future. Not dragon against human, but dragon and human together. It had started with one cracked egg and one brave mechanic. But it would grow into something that changed the world. Queen Ryan had thought the war would end with victory. Instead, it was ending with friendship. And that was better than any victory she could have imagined. In the distance, more dragons. And humans were arriving at the palace. They came seeking peace, seeking cooperation, seeking the hope that Queen Ryan and her allies had built. The Dragon Queen smiled as she watched them come. Her palace, which had once been a fortress against humans, was now becoming a bridge between species. And it all began the night she discovered what the mechanic was doing.